Radius Fist, Impact Fist, and Vampirism. These are the 3 lost fighting styles that are said to be added into Arcane Odyssey somewhere in the future. So what the heck are these lost fighting styles anyways? Well, similar to their common counterparts, these fighting styles can be learned if you meet a certain strength stat requirement, and can be used to replace one of your fighting style slots. The main exception that makes these lost fighting styles unique is that they are lost. Mainly, these fighting styles are only obtainable through scrolls you would likely find in locked bronze chests and scroll chests, and etc. Similar to the Pulsar and Axe Slash scrolls. And so we're going to be talking about them today. So let's start with Radius Fist, a fighting style that requires a lot of mental strength to use. This allows the user to extend the range of their hits using extreme willpower, sending shockwaves with each attack. To my knowledge, this style allows one to, as it said, extend the range of their hits, and though it's not stated, it could be theorized that this fighting style heavily increases the range of your other abilities. So say if you use your Crash ability on this fighting style, you will be able to cover even more distance than usual, likely intended for NPC over PvP fights where your enemy tends to position themselves further away from you, and this style can be used as an easy gap closer, kinda similar to how some swords like Commodore Kai's Saber allows you to blink and dash to a target direction while doing a huge burst of damage. Additionally, this could be intended to be used for navigation and kinda overall movement. Next fighting style we have is the Impact Fist. A fighting style which allows the user to charge up their physical strength in one part of their body and choose to release it whenever they please, which can cause extreme effects. It would charge up by absorbing damage taken or blocking, which would fill up a meter that lowers with each attack. It would likely do low damage by default and have the charge attacks deal higher damage. This would not work like Arcane Adventure's Impact Fist, as this was very abusable and detrimental to the game. So this style, as said, would condition you to play around a meter, like Thermal Fist and Sailor style. The main exception for this meter is that by getting attacked, it would fill up your meter, and whenever you release an attack, depending on how full that meter is, would increase the amount of damage you deal the higher the meter is. Likely a fighting style more utilized by tanky builds and taps into the vitality stat in order to still be able to fight after absorbing a chunk load of damage and be able to harness it into a more powerful counterattack. And then the last described lost fighting style on the Trello, and the most anticipated, Vampirism. An ancient ritual found on this lost scroll curses you with vampirism, which makes your skin lose saturation and raises your base temperature by a lot during the day, which can slow your movements. In exchange, this fighting style increases your punching strength by causing your knuckle bones to protrude from your fists, which can cause enemies to bleed. Each hit with this fighting style would heal you slightly as you slowly drain the life force from your enemies. At high level, its techniques could have blood-like effects. This again is probably the most hyped up lost fighting style, since it allows your attacks and possibly your other fighting abilities to heal you up, give you Wolverine claws, and finally allows you to understand how much bread you've eaten in your life. The downsides, though, appears that being exposed to the sunlight during the day raises your base temperature a lot, which could make heat-based magics do much more damage to you than normal. Your movement is much slower, and maybe to theorize, like a vampire, if you were exposed to the sun long enough, you would probably start to take burning damage. However, the trade-off for all these severe drawbacks is, again, that your attacks and presumably your abilities would restore your health. And these are all the 3 lost fighting styles that are presumably being worked on right now and will be added